getting answers to your immigration questions. We go from hump day to giving the best advice that I can give. Elizabeth from Boston has been waiting 1 hour. She survived hump day. Elizabeth, thank you for waiting. What's going on?
Hi, Brad.
Hi,
I have
how are you?
this question.
Yes.
Good. How are you, Brad?
Good.
My I-130 is approved in November, so I have a master hearing was March 18 because of Corona, so they canceled. Now they give me for 2 years, 2020.
Wow. Okay.
And then for 2 years. So
For 2020 or 2022?
2022.
Okay. So you're right.
Yeah.
So you have an I-130 approved.
Yes.
And you're married to a U.S. citizen.
Yes, and then I have master hearing.
And you want to be able to adjust your status, and all of a sudden now they canceled your master hearing for March 2020 and did it for 2022. Well, your attorney needs to make a motion to recount.
That's why my master hearing is for 2022 because my motion 3 is approved, is granted. My asylum case.
Great. So wait. So your asylum case was approved, or your asylum case?
Motion. Yes, motion 3 is granted because asylum case. Yeah.
All right. I'm a little confused. You have an asylum case. And I'm not sure what motion you're talking about, but this hearing in 2022 is for an individual hearing for your asylum, or is it a master calendar? What is
master?
Okay.
Master.
So nothing has been. If your asylum was approved, you don't have any more master calendar hearings. You're approved. You had an individual hearing for your asylum. You're approved. You're done. So your asylum has not been approved. What you have, you're in removal, and apparently you have an application pending for asylum, and also you're married to a U.S. citizen, and you have an I-130 approved. Now, my question to you is, how did you come to America?
I came visitor visa.
Okay, where are you from?
Ethiopia.
You're from Ethiopia. Okay, so what needs to happen, all right, is the quickest way for you to get your green card would be through your marriage, because you already have the I-130 approved. You don't have to do anything else. You just got to get before a judge and file an adjustment versus prove a whole asylum claim. So what your lawyer needs to do is file a motion to recalendar your case. Show the judge you have an approved I-130 and you are requesting to recalendar, terminate your proceedings to allow you to file an adjustment. Put it all in that motion to recalendar and let the judge make a decision. Hopefully that judge will move your case up, because the reason your judge will do that is because judges get evaluated based on completing immigration cases. Okay? So yours is a case that can be easily completed by the judge. So hopefully, if your lawyer makes that motion to recalendar, they will make it for a much quicker date. If you're having a problem with your lawyer, you are free to change lawyers. You don't have to hire me. But if you have to call my show for me to tell you what to tell your lawyer because your lawyer is telling you nothing, then that gives you some thought. Okay, hold on 1 second, okay?
One more question.
Yes.
One more. What about, can I apply for work authorization until 2 years? I cannot work?
Well, if you've already applied for asylum, you should be able to get a work permit through asylum.
But 2 years I cannot sit without work. It's 2 years. 2022.
But you haven't. You said you filed for asylum. So you should be able to have a work permit through asylum because you filed for asylum, then you got put in removal. Your asylum's been for years probably already, so you should be eligible to file for your work.
Brad, before I have deportation order. After that, my motion 3 is open.
Okay.
My motion 3 open.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So you filed for asylum, you got denied, you got ordered deported, nobody physically deported you. You got the I-130 approved, you made your motion to reopen, and now it's 2022. You got to wait to see the judge to file an adjustment to get your work permit, which is another reason why you want to recalendar a lot earlier.
So I cannot now apply to work authorization?
No, not until you see a judge and you be eligible to file an adjustment. Again, got to recalendar your case. Okay, hold on one second.
222.
You're not listening to the words that come out of my mouth. So it's like goes in one ear, right out the other. You have to make a motion to recalendar your case.
Oh.
Recalendar. RECALANDAR. Recalendar. You make a
Okay,
motion, say, Judge, let me have a quicker date. That's what recalendar means. Okay? Your lawyer should be able to do that. Hold on. Let's go to Sharon. Sharon in Brooklyn.
Hi.
Hi, Sharon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi. I have two short questions for you.
Yes.
I am having 2 years and 9 months next year, May, so I can apply for my citizenship. My question is...
What is 2 years? 1 second. 2 years and 9 months of having a green card or 2 years and 9 months of marriage?
No, having a green card.
And you have a 10-year card?
Yes.
Okay.
My question is, can I apply for the citizenship before that date?
No. You cannot even apply at 2 years and 9 months. You'll be turned down. It's 2 years, 9 months, 3 days.
That's when I can apply. 2 years, 9 months,
and 3 days. Right. And the reason is what the law really says is 90 days before your 3-year anniversary. But if you think about it, there's many months that have 31 days.
Right.
So you got to take those 31 days into account. So that's why I tell everybody 2 years, 9 months, 3 days. And you got to be able, and you got to show you're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse. But that is the time when you apply.
Okay, because I did it through VAWA.
Oh, okay. So, yes. So then it would be 2 years. You don't need to do with your spouse, obviously, then. So it's 2 years, 9 months, 3 days. That's when the application. But believe it or not, I've had people call me on this show and said, Brad, I don't understand. I applied for citizenship at 2 years and 9 months, and they turned me down and told me it was too early. And then they came into my office and they showed me, and I said, yeah, you filed 1 day too early or 2 days too early, because the real rule is 90 days before the 3-year anniversary.
Okay, I got it.
All right.
And yes, the other question I want to ask you, I haven't been working for the past few months because I'm sick, and my doctor told me to apply for disability. Now, short-term disability. I wonder if that will affect my citizenship when I'm ready to.
Not one iota.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're very
man.
welcome.
Have a blessed one.
My pleasure. I love when the answer ends not one iota, and I get a response, okie dokie. We're like speaking our own languages. Not one iota, okie dokie. All right, let's go to Richard in Minneapolis. Richard.
Hello?
How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I do.
Oh, good. I just came up on your show on YouTube, so I was like, man.
What's the question?
So I have a case from like 2011. I pled guilty to terroristic reckless disregard risk.
To you threatened somebody?
Well, no, it was because my public defendant at the time was like, "Oh, this case is blown all the way out of proportion." So it started from a domestic, and then at the end of it, because at the time it was.
All right, so you pled guilty, and when was this?
2011.
Okay, and when did you get a green card?
2009.
And was this a misdemeanor or a felony that you pled guilty to?
They have it as a gross misdemeanor.
What does a gross misdemeanor mean? Where do you live? In Minnesota?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure what a gross misdemeanor means in Minnesota, but unless it's a petty offense, and when I hear the word gross misdemeanor, it doesn't sound like a petty offense, and you pled guilty within 2 years of getting a green card, now I got to start questioning stuff. Now you got your green card, you said in 2009, and you pled guilty to this in 2011. Were you living in the United States prior to 2009?
You said prior to 2009?
Prior to you getting your green card, were you living in the United States?
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean like before 2009?
Prior, before. Yep, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, when did you come to America?
2006, I've been here.
2006. How did you come to America?
Well, I came on a work visa.
Okay.
Then I went to USCIS.
All right. So this is what the law says. If you're found guilty of a crime of moral turpitude that is not a petty offense, and this sounds like not a petty offense, I can't be certain about it, but it sounds like it's not a petty offense. I can only tell you what the law says. If you're found guilty of an offense within the first 5 years of you entering America legally,
Right.
which is 2006, and this offense was 2011, and it goes based on not the day you plead guilty, but the day you were arrested. If that arrest for that ultimate guilty plea happened within the first 5 years of your entry into America, that's automatic deportation.
They make it deportable, right?
Correct. So you sounds, I can't speak right now, sounds like you have a big problem. So I think what this is not going to be resolved on our YouTube, Facebook show. This is a, let's call Brad for a consultation time. All right. So hold on 1 second. All right. Let's go to Candace in New York. Candace.
Hi, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm okay. I just have a quick question. Well, two questions. My first question is, I got approved for the NVC. I got my welcome letter, but I was pregnant and I recently just had my daughter, and I was receiving Medicaid and food stamp at the time. I canceled it out because I had started working, but my daughter had to do an emergency surgery, so I stopped working because I had to take care of her. Will this affect me with my filing?
You're filing for what?
For I-130.
Okay.
For my husband.
For your husband. Okay. So if I understand correctly, and let me just make sure I understand this correctly so I can give you the right advice. While you were pregnant, you got some sort of Medicaid. After your daughter was and food stamps. After your daughter was born, you stopped that. But your daughter
I recently just stopped it.
Okay. How many months after from the time of birth?
Like 4 months after.
Okay, yes, it's going to affect you because what the law says is they will not take into account Medicaid for a pregnant woman until 30 days after the birth of their child. Then it starts counting against you when you go to file for your spouse. Now that doesn't
so can
mean
I use a joint sponsor?
Well, yes, not only will you need a joint sponsor, but your spouse is really going to have to show that they can.
He's currently working.
That he's working. He has his own health insurance. Then that would be very positive towards the case.
Okay, my other question is, so my daughter is home right now and she's on oxygen and pulse ox machine.
She can get Medicaid.
Can I expedite the case?
No, you can't. You can't expedite the case. But she can continue for Medicaid. Her Medicaid will not affect the case. So let her continue.
She can continue with her.
Yes.
She's under the food stamp. So should I stop her food stamp also?
No. First of all, she needs it. She's sick. So she needs it. Okay. But number two, any government assistance you get for a child under 18, as long as it's for the child, does not affect you filing for your spouse.
Okay, so will a positive impact me that I am in nursing school and I graduated from college and I've been working all this time and now is like the only time I'm not working?
That all is a positive thing. Hopefully, when you file for your spouse in 12 months from now, two things will happen. Okay, number one, we're going to have a new president. Pray to God. Number two, that new president is going to change all these ridiculous laws anyway, and probably go back to the old system is my guess, but I can't be 100% certain. Now, in the meantime, file your papers, show your husband working, show him with his health insurance. If you're not working now, if you're not working now, you'll get a second affidavit of support from somebody else. And let's hope in 12 months from now, two things will happen. One is your daughter will be better. And two, as a result, you'll be working. And I think with all of that, and you go in 12 months from now for an interview and show everything we talked about, plus now I have a job, plus now I'm working, I think you'll be okay.
Okay, just one more question. I'm sorry. So, I just paid the fee on the NVC process, so I still have time to get my job do everything.
Wait, where's your husband?
He's in Jamaica.
Oh, so he's not working with health insurance here. He's working in another country.
No. He's working in another country, and he has health insurance there.
That doesn't help him. But that doesn't help him for America then. Okay. All right. That doesn't help him for America because health insurance in another country makes no effect on whether you'll have health insurance here. What you'll ultimately need to show is his work experience in another country will translate to work here in America. That's what will need to be shown, and perhaps even an offer of employment, and that offer of employment has health insurance.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I cannot expedite the case, even though the hospital is willing to give me a letter with her diagnosis?
You can try. Nothing bad will happen.
Okay.
But they're not going to expedite it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Have a good one.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, let's go to Jang in Louisville. Jang.
Hello, Brad. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Yes, I am very good. I just have two questions to ask. But first, I just want to say that I'm a big fan of your show.
Thank you.
I watch your show and I appreciate everything you are doing. I do.
And by the way, Jang, I'm a big fan of you because you're a big fan of me.
Thank you, sir.
All right, what's up?
Okay, my first question to you, sir, is I got married in August of 2016, and then I got my green card, my first 2 years green card in 2017. Okay. So now in 2019, July 9, I filed for them to remove the condition, So now, since last year, I haven't had anything about my case.
Did you get an extension? Yes,
they extended, I believe, for
18 months.
18 months.
Okay, so unfortunately, you're probably not going to hear these I-751s now are taking between 18 to 24 months. So it's not unusual to wait that long to hear. If after literally 2 years you haven't heard, then that's the time to start saying, hey, what the hell's going on? But right now, you got to look at the good news. The good news is you have your green card. Okay, you can travel, you can work, and everything else. Okay, and by the way, I don't know this for a fact. This is my opinion. They do this on purpose. And the reason they do this on purpose is they're hoping your marriage breaks up in the process. All right. So if your marriage breaks up in the process, it's less likely for you to pass the I-751. Not to say you can't get a divorce and prove it was a bona fide marriage, but it's much easier when you're together with your spouse. You guys are a team and you go in together.
Right.
So I think they do it on purpose, but I don't know this for a fact.
Okay, and then I had my fingerprint done on February of this year. So so my next question to you is, if August comes here, by August, am I eligible to apply for citizenship, or do I have to wait until I get my? Under
the law, if you have a green card, even as a conditional green card holder for 2 years, 9 months, and 3 days, and you're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse and can prove you live together and have a financial relationship, you are eligible to file your naturalization. And some people do that. And then what happens is they go on the naturalization interview, and now you end up with 2 cases pending, one for naturalization and one for an I-751. So you can do both, but to me it just, muddies the waters more, but people are doing it. And then sometimes I say to people, you know what, your I-751's pending more than 2 years, you don't want to do a mandamus, go file your citizenship. Why not? So, nothing bad's going to happen to you by filing your naturalization. I just don't know by doing it you're necessarily going to put yourself in a better position, but it's possible. They're going to end up interviewing you. You got to prove it's a bona fide marriage at your naturalization, and then they're going to get a second chance to interview you for your I-751.
I-17. Okay, all right. And then now my final and last question. So, as it stands right now, will I be able to petition for my mom that is in Africa?
No, not until you become a citizen.
Not until I become.
Right. You can file for your children who are unmarried, but you cannot file for a mom.
Okay. Well, Mr. Brad, thank you so much.
All
God
right.
bless you. I'm very, very, very happy to have
you.
the opportunity to really.
Thank you. God bless you, and hang in there, okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to DeWitt in Houston. DeWitt,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you,
Good,
Brad?
good. What's going on?
I had just two quick questions. So I'm just a permanent resident, and I had the extension, the one with the 18 months.
Right.
And that one is about to expire. And I'm just thinking to just travel outside the United States. Is it safe to just travel with the I-51?
As long as the I-751 extension, as long as you're traveling within that 18-month period, and you're returning within that 18-month period, and you have that notice along with your expired green card, is it safe for immigration? Yes. Is it safe for coronavirus? That's a whole other question. If you go beyond that 18 months, that extension notice is only for 18 months. So once you go past that 18 months, you got to go to immigration and get a stamp in your passport before you travel, or you're going to have a problem at the airport.
Okay, so once I got the stamp, so I don't have a problem with the airport, I can travel?
Correct.
Okay. And my other question was just like, I'm just waiting for my interview. So my interview just waiting for, it say on May, so just ready to just make an interview, but I don't know when it's going to happen. But my wife, she's a U.S. citizen, but she used SNAP and just Medicaid. Does it affect me?
Not to remove the conditions, it won't affect you.
It doesn't affect me, right, sir?
Not to remove the conditions.
Okay, all right. Sir, thank you
You're
so
very
much.
welcome.
You're the best.
Okay, thank you. Best of luck. Let's go to Thomas in Tampa. Thomas. Thomas.
Yes, sir.
What's
Hello?
up? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, sir? How are you?
Good. What's going on?
I have a case for my case I-360. I got approved last year, and I have interview in May, but was canceled because coronavirus. Right. When do you think you have? I have another interview or casual it.
When are you going to get your interview? Is your question to me?
Yes.
Okay. Magic 8 Ball. I know nothing about Thomas's case. I do know immigration is closed right now with coronavirus. I don't know when they're going to schedule interviews again. I don't know when they're specifically going to schedule Thomas's interview again. But do you think Thomas will get an interview by the end of the year, Magic 8 Ball? Let's see. It says concentrate and ask again. It's a very hard question for the Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball, will Thomas get his interview before the end of the year? And the answer is very doubtful. And the reason it's very doubtful is because we have coronavirus, immigration's closed, everything is way backed up. Trump is threatening to fire 70% of the immigration service, so I would not count on it anytime soon, unfortunately.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Hang in there. All right, let's go to Khan. Khan in Monroe, New Jersey. Khan.
Hey, Brett.
How are you?
Good. I have two questions.
Yes.
My first question is, I am living in America from last 35 years, paying tax almost 27, 28 years.
Right.
But I got my citizenship last year. My question is, I'm trying to sponsor my brother in Pakistan. The reason is I work all my life, but from last 2 years I'm sick and I'm on Medicaid. So I can apply for my brother or what not?
You have not applied for your brother yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. When you apply for your brother, if you put in the application right now, it's about a 12-year process.
Yes.
Okay? In 12 years from now, in the year 2030, whatever, whether it's 2031, 2032, 2033, provided we're all here, God willing, I will not know what the immigration laws are as it relates to Medicaid.
Okay.
So we have to worry about what the law is as it relates to Medicaid in the year 2031 or 2032. So my advice is file an I-130. Worry about it in 12 years from now.
Okay, that's my question. Is they don't ask you right now, right?
No.
They ask
They're going to ask you in 2032. Worry about it then.
So then maybe I apply. And my second question is that my son, he got married 3 years ago.
Right.
Right. And he applied for his green card after his 1 year after his marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last year, December, he applied for his apply 751 to remove the condition. But they sent us a letter for 18 months. Right. So my question is that they count the date 2 year, 9 months, or 1 day, whatever you told me, from the date of marriage or when he get the green card?
From when he got his conditional green card.
Oh, they count from that date, right?
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
That's for citizenship. That's for citizenship, yes.
No, citizenship, I understand. But I'm saying for the citizenship, so they count it for from when he get the card. Okay. Because he got the 18 months.
Khan, what are you asking me? If you're asking me for 2 years, 9 months, and 3 days, that is the only time that term, 2 years, 9 months, and 3 days, ever comes into our conversation on Bradshaw Live. It's talking about filing your citizenship. So if that is your question, it's counted from the time you get the 2-year conditional green card. 2 years, 9 months, 3 days later. If you're asking when does he get his permanent green card, only the magic 8 ball knows the answer to that, but it's going to be at least 18 to 24 months from the time that he filed. If you're asking when does he file to remove the conditions, it's 90 days before the 2-year anniversary. I'm just giving you all the rules. All right, Khan? I don't know which one you're asking about. Okay. All right. Be well. Thanks for calling, though. Okay.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to Ibrahim in Brooklyn. Ibrahim.
Hi, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm
good.
so glad to see you on the air.
Okay.
I have three different immigration questions.
3 different questions in 7 parts. Let's go. Let's get them.
Okay, thank you. I already sent the immigration my RFE, last one, so they received on the May 8th. And my work permit is already expired on the May 25th. So do I need to send them again to apply to renew the work permit, or just I need to wait to make a decision for my RP? When they make the decision RP, they're gonna send a work permit C31 with the category.
Well, you have a pending work permit now based on adjustment, right?
Yeah, my work permit also already expired.
Okay, and that's based on the adjustment, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no law that says you have to renew your work permit. It doesn't cost you 1 penny to renew your work permit, so it's not a matter of money. But if you are asking me, are you legally working without a work permit? You're not legally working without a work permit, so I would suggest you file to renew it.
No, I mean my brother, the same case. When he sent the RP, the last documentation, so he received after 3 weeks the work permit with the C31 category.
All right.
After 4 months.
So
Yeah.
Ibrahim.
After 4 months,
Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Okay. If you filed an adjustment with the I-360, I doubt that you filed 2 different work permit applications. You filed 1 work permit application, and that was based on adjustment, and you put C9. If you made a second one based on C31, if and when your I-360 is approved, they will send you a work permit based on that as well. And maybe you'll have 2 work permits. But I don't know when your I-360 will be approved. Maybe it will be like your brother in 3 weeks. But maybe it'll be like somebody else where it's 3 years later. I don't have the slightest idea. And if you're asking me, will you get a work permit when your I-360 is approved? I don't know unless you have a I-765 based on C31 sitting there with it. And I don't know when your I-360 would be approved. It's not a given that your case will be exactly like your brother's. and it's not a given that your I-360 will be approved in 3-4 weeks. Meanwhile, you're eligible to renew your work permit based on the adjustment.
CO9.
So,
CO9.
CO9. So it took you more time in your life to wait on hold to ask me this question than had you just printed out the form, filled it out, and mailed it in. You would have spent less time of your life doing it, and it doesn't cost you a penny, so just go do it.
Okay. Second question. So I have a advance parole with the valid. So can I travel like the waiting my RP decision?
Yes.
So if they're gonna approve the case, so do I have to come back to the country, right?
You have to come back. You can't stay out for more than a couple of weeks, regardless.
If I couldn't come back, the one they call me, so because of the pandemic, so can we reschedule the interview?
No, you'll be denied and you'll be back in your home country. So your risk of traveling is getting stuck because of coronavirus, not because you have an advance parole.
Okay, I got it. For last question, so I'm not living with my wife anymore. So can I do the divorce right now?
You are filing an abuse case. You can do a divorce.
So, but I didn't get any decision about my I-1.
That's okay.
I-3.
You can get divorced. You just can't get remarried till the I-360 is approved.
Okay. When they're gonna call me the interview? So if I'm divorced, so it's fine, right?
Perfectly fine. Just be honest about it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But don't get remarried.
Oh, don't be getting
until the I-360 is approved.
Okay.
Got it?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
All
I'm
right.
happy. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you're happy. I'm happy too then. Let's go to Baljit in New York. Baljit.
How you doing, sir?
How are you?
Good. I have a question. I have a pending I-130 from my spouse, like over 2.5 years now.
Right.
And also I have a SIJ appeal pending from I-360 revoke. That was like over 2 years now also. And I filed a VAWA 19 months ago. And you think I have to withdraw anything or just wait to get a decision?
Well,
for the
your SIJ is done for two reasons. Okay, there's two reasons why your SIJ is done. One is it's on appeal, so you lost it. And two, you got married, so you're no longer under the guardianship of somebody. By getting married, you've basically made yourself an adult. So there's no more SIJ. Okay?
So
SIJ, forget. It's done. Okay? You filed an adjustment. Things didn't work out with your marriage. Then you filed a VAWA. You have a pending adjustment. You got to wait on the VAWA case now.
So I don't have to withdraw I-130 or I-290B because
you don't. Your SIJ case is finished because when you got married, you became an adult. Okay. SIJ is for minors. You can't be a married minor and say I need a parent to take care of me. Yet I got married. Okay. So SIJ is done.
130.
The I-130 is also done. You and your wife are no longer together. You filed a VAWA case. That's what you're waiting on.
So USCIS can make a decision for I-485 and I-360. Even I have those petition pending, or they don't send me any decision or anything.
You will get what will happen if it was done properly, and this is how I understand what you did. You did a SIJ, it got denied, you appealed. Then you got married, and then after you
I got to revoke I-360 from the SIJ.
Okay, great. And then you got married. And then you filed an adjustment through your marriage, and the marriage broke down because of violence.
That was just I-130, not I-485.
Oh, then forget the I-130 altogether. You're going to forget the SIJ. You're going to forget the I-130. Screw it all. Forget it. Wipe it out of your brain. The only thing you got to worry about is you filed an adjustment based on a VAWA. They will approve your I-360 first, and then they'll schedule you for an adjustment. That's the answer.
Okay. One more question for my friend.
Yes.
Sir, he have RFC for VAWA case like 6 months ago, and he responds them, and he never get a reply from them. You think how long they take after RFC, or do you have any idea?
Well, it's supposed to be 4 months. After that, when is he going to hear? You want me to ask I could ask my magic 8 ball. But other than that, I don't know. but it's supposed to be 4 months.
Okay. And also, you know how long they take for VAWA cases? Like I filed together.
Over 2 years.
So they make a decision on the same time, I-485 too?
No, you're going to make a decision on the I-360 first, and then they'll schedule you for an adjustment interview.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, let's go. Let's see who this is. Let's go to Kofi in Worcester, Massachusetts. Kofi.
Hello, Brad. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. So I have a quick question. A couple years ago, I got arrested for DUI in the state of Connecticut. I did AR program, and the case got dismissed. And I'm wondering, in about a couple months, it's time for me to file for my naturalization. And I'm wondering if I have to wait for 5 years so I can just go ahead and file for my naturalization.
If you went into the what program? I didn't hear that part.
Alcohol education program, and the case got dismissed. I never plead guilty.
Okay, yes. So you did a diversion program.
Yes.
If you did a diversion program and it was your only time you're ever getting arrested, it's not a conviction. You had a bad night. As long as you can prove for the other nights within the last 5 years, in other words, the other 4 years, 364 days, you were a good person, and one day you effed up, you're allowed to F up. The case was dismissed. You're still a good person. You're entitled to become a citizen.
Okay.
All right?
So I don't have to worry about waiting for 5 more years.
You don't have to worry, but obviously this case will be an issue in your naturalization. So for me to say don't worry would be would be a misunderstanding of what I'm saying. What I am saying is, despite this arrest, if you do things properly, you should be able to prove that you are a person of good moral character. You're allowed to have a bad night and still be a good person. So my advice to you is, A, nothing bad will happen to you by filing, and B, if you do everything properly, you should become a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
All right? And if you need help, hold on 1 second. Maybe you need help. Hold on. Let's see. Let's go to Tamika in Tampa, Florida. Tamika.
Hi, Brad. How are you doing?
Tamika.
So I have a question for you. So after waiting 7 months to the USCIS process, my case in NVC took like 4 weeks from start to finish. So I was pretty surprised about that. But now it's at the stage where my spouse is supposed to get his interview, and he's in Jamaica. Do you know if they're doing immigrant visa interviews at this time?
They should be, yeah. Slowly, but yes.
Okay.
All right.
Do you know how long that process normally takes?
Tamika, if you've been watching my show, everybody's a different case. So, but if the case was transferred from the National Visa Center to Jamaica already,
well, it still shows at NVC.
It has not even been transferred to Kingston.
No.
All right. So at least hopefully by the end of the year. But I would get in touch with the National Visa Center.
Okay.
But they should be scheduling something. Okay. The embassy's open.
Okay, thank you.
All right, okay. The embassy's open. Jamaica's open. You can go be a tourist in Jamaica. So they should be scheduling. Let's go to Maxwell in Columbia, South Carolina. Maxwell.
Yeah, Brad, I have a quick question.
Yes.
My I-157 is still pending due to I got arrested last year, but it happened to be a misdemeanor. Receiving stolen property. But it happened to be a misdemeanor in South Carolina. So I also did a diversion program, and the case got dismissed.
Good.
So being it that in November 1st, my green card will be 3 years, can I follow them with another petition for naturalization?
You can if you want to, yeah. I answered the question before. I don't know if that helps your case speed things up. Because you're going to go on a citizenship interview, they're still not going to approve your I-751, and then you're going to have 2 cases pending. But yes, you can do it. Yes, you can become a citizen if you prove bona fide marriage. No, a diversion program will not prevent you. Again, going back to that, you're allowed to have a bad day. You can't have a lot of bad days, but you can have a bad day. It doesn't make you a bad person. Case was dismissed eventually. But yeah, you can do it. I just don't know if by filing your citizenship you're helping yourself. You're not hurting yourself. I don't know if you're helping yourself.
Yeah, they never give me extension. They only just make me. I did fingerprint though, but no extension has been given to me.
You should have gotten. If you did a fingerprint, you have an extension. It just didn't. You didn't receive it in the mail.
Yeah, I never received it in the mail.
Okay, so then maybe you need a consultation. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Go. Let's go to Debbie in Lanham, Maryland. Debbie.
Hi, Uncle Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for being there for us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I have two quick questions. For someone who has a master hearing scheduled for March 2021 or so, thereabout, yeah, is there a chance of calling the person for a green card interview before then, or
not a chance? If you're in removal, you got to be out of removal, have a judge terminate it, or a judge grant you a green card. You're not getting called for a green card while you still have a master calendar.
Oh, really?
Really.
Then, so, okay, but what if the work authorization card expires before then? Can one renew?
What is the work authorization based on?
No. If the work authorization card expires,
what is the work authorization? Well, you can renew it, obviously. I just don't know why you have a work authorization. What is it based on?
Oh, okay, that's a good question.
Yes.
The issue, what happened actually was the person was picked up for presenting false insurance papers to a police officer unknowingly.
To a police officer?
Presented false insurance.
False insurance. So the guy got pulled over, hands some false insurance to the cop. Cop says, "What is this? This ain't real. You're coming in with me." Right.
Good. It led to an arrest, led to ICE picking up and all that. But of course, the person had already filed for adjustment before all this happened through marriage. Yeah.
Got it.
So
yes. So as long as the adjustment is still pending, he can renew his work permit.
Okay, he can.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. So secondly, the issue of getting financial relationship documents with his spouse in preparation for green card interview and all that. Is health insurance very important to have?
Yes.
With his spouse?
Yes.
It is.
Is it vital? Nothing's vital. But if you're asking me, is it important in the sense that you have health insurance together? Yes, because it serves two purposes. One, it shows a joint economic relationship. And two, it's good for the poverty guidelines. It shows that no one's going on Medicaid. I have health insurance.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is, health insurance.
But if you don't, but if you can't, you don't have it. It's not vital. It's not like, oh my God, I don't have health insurance, I'm getting denied. It's not a if you don't got it, you're getting denied thing. But if you're asking me if I have it, is it vital? Is it really good? Yes, really good. If you don't have it, it's not the end of the world.
Okay.
All right.
Because at the time they wanted to put in for the health insurance,
it's totality of circumstances. It's everything.
I know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it.
All right,
Thank
Debbie.
you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right.